Hey, good morning. Good afternoon. Sorry, it's not morning anymore. My name is Kevin Darty. I'm with the Illinois Agriculture in the Classroom program. We're so glad you're here. We'll wait a couple minutes for people to log in. This will be recorded. If you have a chance and you need to put something in the chat, please do so. If you have questions, feel free to do that. So we'll get started here in just a minute. All right, in the interest of everybody's time, we've kind of leveled off, but we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us for the Know Before You Go, getting ready for the National Conference for 2024. It's just a couple weeks away. Real quick, we'll start off with a welcome, and we're going to go through a couple of things today. First, we're going to do a little alphabet soup. We're going to talk about the mobile app, how you might prepare for the conference, and some conference logistics, and then how to make the most of your conference experience. So that's what we're going to do. Again, thank you for joining us. Again, this is being recorded. We'll make this available to you. As I said, my name is Kevin Darty. I'm the program leader for the Illinois Agriculture in the Classroom program. Glad to be here. And I'm going to introduce our other host. First off, we got Becky from Florida. She's the program leader. Becky, tell us a little bit about yourself and your favorite ice cream flavor in honor of Dairy Month.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Becky Sponholtz. I'm the executive director of Florida Ag in the Classroom. I have been with the organization for 10 years. Before that, I was a middle school and high school agriculture teacher. And my favorite I love all ice creams that don't have nuts or raisins in them, but my favorite is coffee.
Thank you very much. We'll go on. We'll go up north to Sue Knott from Minnesota. Sue, introduce yourself and your favorite ice cream.
Thanks, Kevin. I have a very similar history as Becky. I was a middle and high school agriculture teacher for about 10 years, and then I've been the Minnesota or an education specialist with Minnesota Agriculture in the Classroom for the last 12. And I am a big fan of ice cream. I don't know many varieties I don't like, but if I had to pick a favorite, I'm going to go with cookies and cream.
There you go. Next up, also from Minnesota, Carrie, introduce yourself.
I'm Carrie Seidel. I also have a similar background in that I was a middle and high school agriculture teacher, first in Florida in the same district as Becky, and now I've been with Minnesota Ag in the Classroom for about 7 years as an education specialist with Sue. My favorite ice cream is anything with chocolate in it.
My real question for you, Carrie, is Minnesota ice cream different in the winter than Florida ice cream is in the winter?
You know, a friend of mine and I from Florida, we decided on the first snow we'd go to this ice cream shop and get the All of Them sundae, which was the scoop of every flavor they had, and it really made winter a more exciting beginning.
There you go. Something to look forward to. Well, again, my name's Kevin Darty. I'm with Illinois Ag in the Classroom. I've been with our program for 24 years. I also was a middle school and high school teacher, but I was social studies and English. We're really excited that you'll be here. And wrapping up our panel, our distinguished panel today, is Denise Stewardson, and she is the Utah Ag in the Classroom program leader, and she is our conference host. And she's going to kick us off today with a little bit of uniquely Utah. But Denise, tell us a little bit about yourself and what kind of ice cream we might look forward to in Utah.
Oh my gosh, we have lots of ice cream. So thank you, Kevin, for the introduction. I've been with Utah Agriculture in the Classroom since 2005. I've been the director for a little less than that, but I also was a middle school and high school teacher in career and technical education out in Maryland and Virginia. But I now reside in Utah. I've been there for quite some time. So we are very excited that you folks are going to join us in Salt Lake City in Utah. We've been planning this for a long time. And so on behalf of my Utah Ag in the Classroom team, Becca and Carrie and Caitlin, we are so looking forward to having you. And we do have ice cream on the menu. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit. My favorite ice cream, well, because we're at the land-grant university and we are a dairy state, we have the dairy right on campus. So I have lots to choose from every day. We eat it constantly at all of our events, and we have lots of great flavors. But right now, my favorite is praline pecan, but it changes daily thanks to what we have to offer there. So let's just dive in and let's talk a little bit about what you will see in Utah, U for Uniquely Utah. We are going to kick off our conference welcome on Tuesday morning with Commissioner Craig Butters. You'll see him on the picture on the upper left-hand corner of your screen. He's in the middle there in the suit jacket. Commissioner Butters is a big supporter of Ag in the Classroom, and he's the commissioner at the Utah Department of Agriculture and Food. So he will be there to say hello. We'll follow another welcome on the next morning's breakfast from Dr. Ross Peterson. He is a professor emeritus at Utah State University, and he loves history. He is just world-renowned, actually, for his history knowledge. And he talked about the history of agriculture in Utah and what that means for us today. Well, not me, but for producers, farmers and ranchers in the state of Utah, and what we can learn from them. And then Ms. Reagan White-Salusi, she's the lovely lady there in the sunglasses next to the peach tree. She's a colleague of mine at Utah State University Extension, and I have learned to I'm fascinated by her story and her work. She is a native Navajo, and she works with indigenous peoples in the southern part of our state, helping them return to their culture, especially with Navajo peaches and spinach. She also works with indigenous youth, and so she's going to be our keynote speaker at our Wednesday banquet, and I cannot wait to hear from her, and I can't wait for you to hear from her. On the right there, a picture of our bees. We are the beehive state. We do have lots of bees here, but that's not why we're the beehive state. Our settlers and our folks that came and settled Utah long ago were very industrious. They had to be very, very ingenious and committed to the life that they encountered when they came to Utah. Very hot and very dry, very dusty. But they did make a life and they thrived. And so that sense of industry and busyness and community is signified by the bee, and that beehive has been used for years and years and years in our state as a symbol of our people. We will have some great tours, some wonderful tours. You'll see beef and bison. You'll see some tart cherries. You'll see those there on the left. We'll go down to Payson Fruit Growers in the kind of the south central part of the state. We're going to Kohler Dairy, lots of dairy, like I said, in the state. We'll see some artisan and eat some artisan cheese. We're going to go to Thanksgiving Point, which is a 50-acre garden that also includes a farm country, a dinosaur museum. We'll talk about the agriculture that goes on there and the beautiful flowers. We'll see Lehigh Roller Mills. That's where Kevin Bacon filmed his famous scene where he danced at the prom that night. That building is still there, and we're celebrating the 40th anniversary. In fact, Kevin Bacon made a quick little visit to Utah not too long at the school where that was filmed. The dance was filmed, and so it was fun for him to come back there, and it was fun for us to host him here. So we'll see the USU Botanical Center. Gorgeous flowers, demonstration gardens. You'll learn a lot from that. Brine shrimp. We are one of the world's largest producers of brine shrimp, which is very exciting. It's odd, but very exciting. The shrimp is actually our state crustacean, so know that if you come and have a quiz. We're going to see some wool production and Wasatch Wool Labs. We'll see Roots High School. It's Utah's first agricultural education-based school, and they work with New Roots. It's a group that supports refugees here in Utah and help them grow and raise their native livestock and plants. And so it's a great partnership, very fascinating story. You'll love that. We're gonna have a chocolate tour. Oddly enough, I'm not sure why, but Utah has one of the most thriving chocolate industries in the country. And then we'll have a downtown walking tour of the gardens at Temple Square. Absolutely phenomenal. They change those gardens out every 6 months, and you'll see the rooftop gardens on top of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Center. A fascinating tour. So that rounds up our tours. You'll see a picture there, of course, of ice cream. We're going to have lots of Utah treats, lots of treats at every meal function, including ice cream. You'll see the picture there of our greatest snow on earth. That's one of our tourist slogans. And although we're going to be here in June and not see that great snow, although you might see some on the mountain peaks, we've had a lot of snow this winter and early spring. So you may still see some mountain snow, but know that it's very hot and very dry in Utah. So please drink lots of water, even if you don't feel like it. Drink water, wear your sunscreen, but know that it's cool at night. If you go out in the evening, take a jacket. It's often very cool. We're in a high alpine desert, so make sure you bring a jacket along. We will have bingo Wednesday night. I think someone will talk about that a little bit later to celebrate our Western heritage. So make sure you bring your best Western theme. And I just found this out. Those of you who are flying into Salt Lake City, if you're flying in through Salt Lake Airport, as you pass through security, the hallway opens up and you have a set of gates on your right and a set of gates on your left. And so you'll find your gate number. If you look up on your monitor screen, actually you're coming out of there. I guess you'll be coming out of the gates. As you come out of those gates and go towards security or baggage claim, look up at the main hallway. You'll see a welcome from the Salt Lake Travels Travelers Bureau. And so we're going to have the National Agriculture Classroom on our big signs out there. And so that's pretty exciting for me to see us on the big screen. So we hope that you come and enjoy and learn something about unique agriculture and enjoy Agriculture Elevated at the end of June. Safe travels to you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we are really looking forward to coming to Utah. My first experience in Utah was at a National Ag in the Classroom in Utah back in the year 2000. So really looking forward to that and seeing how things go. Next up, we're going to talk a little alphabet soup. The educators in you are, those of you that are educators, you're used to lots of lingo and that kind of stuff. Here at Ag in the Classroom, we have some of our very own. Just wanted to give you some of those. And if you have a question about, hey, what do those letters mean? Feel free to ask someone. But National Ag in the Classroom is part of the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture. We're actually housed within NIFA, the National Institute on Food and Agriculture. Sometimes you'll see us referred to as National Agriculture in the Classroom. That's the overall structure, all 50 states coming together, the National Ag in the Classroom website. But sometimes you'll see something called NAITCO, NAITCO, National Ag in the Classroom Organization. And the National Ag in the Classroom Organization, that's those are the program leaders and your state staff. We're a part of that to try and share things across the United States. So National Ag in the Classroom, it exists. NAITCO is this organization of us. Sometimes you'll hear things called the program leader, whomever is in charge of your state, the state staff, the state or territory contact. We're also called the program leaders. One other thing that we work closely with is the National Center for Ag Literacy, the National Center for Agricultural Literacy, also housed at Utah State University. They're the research arm of ag literacy, Ag in the Classroom through NIFA and USDA. We are being hosted by USU, the Utah State University, and Extension. Sometimes we just say Extension, but the Cooperative Extension Service, how that works. The various state programs are housed in different entities. Some are Extension, some are Farm Bureau, some are Soil and Water Conservation, some are with the state departments of agriculture, or even just private foundations. So you'll hear some of those things thrown around there. A couple other partners that we talk about, AFBF, that's the American Farm Bureau Foundation for Agriculture. You'll hear about that. They'll actually have a booth there, and they'll have some books for sale. The TAF is the Tribal Agricultural Fellowship. We'll talk a little bit more about that. CHS, that's an agricultural cooperative that is a generous sponsor for things related to national agriculture in the classroom. And finally, the Grange, the National Grange. That's a farm and family organization, kind of similar to Farm Bureau, but it has a deep heritage. And those are some terms that you might use. You might hear people using. Again, if there's something that comes up and you don't know, find one of our state program leaders or ask at the front desk. They'll be able to help you because we want to make sure you all understand the various entities that are involved in this. I'm going to turn it over to Carrie, and she's going to take us through the mobile app.
Yes, so the mobile app has a lot of really great features that if you take nothing else from today, I want you to see what it's got and that you should set it up before you arrive. So the app is going to have an email that comes to you about 2 weeks before the conference. And it's going to include for you the link to download the actual app, and Aventry, I believe is how you say it. It's listed here. And then the logo's on that screenshot of the phone. That's what it's called. There'll be a link in this email. There will be an access code. And in order to get into our National Ag in the Classroom conference part of it, you put in this access code. You can see that on the screenshot where it says access code. That's going to be the first thing that you put in. Everyone has the same access code. In that email will also have your username and a password that once you put in the access code, it will prompt you for that. Your password is your registration number that will also be on your name tag. Your username is the email that you used when you signed up. So that will all come in the email. I've been told, and it's likely this is true, it's best for you to go ahead and download that and set it up before you arrive, so that's something that you've already done. I'm going to now switch my camera and show you some of the cool features of the app and really why you should download it and use it. So we don't have printed programs anymore. We have everything in the app. So we're going to work with a little document camera here. Once you get into the app, this is what it looks like. And I'm going to show you just a couple of features that I think you'll want to use. The first that we're going to look at is the agenda. So when you click into the agenda, it has everything, all the workshops, everything. There's a lot going on here. This is a lot to keep looking at. You can click on things when you see a workshop. I'm going to choose Exploring the Orchard. That's the workshop I'm doing. If I click on it and do the star, it's going to show up now on my agenda. My agenda is also already pre-populated with the traveling workshop that I signed up for. And then as you go through and you decide the things that you want to go to, you can put them here on the Your Agenda page and go there to remind yourself of what you wanted to go to. A couple of key points though. By adding a workshop to your agenda, that does not guarantee you a spot. All of the workshops are still going to be first come, first serve. You also can't change your traveling workshop in the app. That's going to stay the same from what you register. So those are two key things. This is a great way though to go through and decide what you want to go to. Couple of tips. Some of the workshops do fill up really quickly. So it's a great idea to have a backup plan for each session. So if the session you want is already full, you can head to the next one. Another great feature within here is this conference bag right here. So on the agendas, which I'll go back to the agenda, if you click into one of the workshops, I'm going to click into this garden favorites. It's going to give you a lot of information. And if the presenter has uploaded their slides or their handouts, you can push this button here. I have already added it, but it would say add to your conference bag. And then that handout or slides would be here in your conference bag. And when everything is done, you can receive your conference bag and it will send you an email with all of these handouts and slides that you've added. You can also add, I'll show you how to do that here in a second. You can also add attendees' contact info, and you'll send all of this to yourself at the end in your conference bag. So with the attendees, if you meet someone that's really great and you want to stay in contact with them, you can click on them and add them, which I already added her. So let's add someone, I don't know. Whoever I wanted to add, you could add them to your conference bag and you get their information sent to you. Under my profile, you can make some changes there. You could change it so that you're not discoverable. You can add your picture, interest, all of that sort of thing. Oh, one thing I forgot to show you on agenda that I learned about today that was really cool. Under agenda, there are, if you click on the eyeball here at the top, there are filters. So you could filter this by track. So maybe I am an elementary school teacher. Oops. I can go in here to elementary and just see the workshops that are specific to elementary, or change it to ones that are specific to language arts. You get the picture. High school, that's really cool to help narrow that down. Any questions if you want to put in the chat about the app? It will be very helpful. Also within the agenda, the workshops will be connected to the floor plans, so you'll be able to look at a map, it's not in here yet, of the hotel and know where your different sessions and things are in there. Eventually, places will be uploaded with different restaurants and other points of interest that you may be interested in. So there's a lot going on in here, and I would highly recommend that you download that before you get here. I see a question about how long will the app remain active or open after the conference has ended? Tessa, do you think you can respond to that question in the chat? I'm not sure the answer to that. Oh yes, and Becky makes the point that if there's a workshop session you can't attend, but you still want the resources, you could add those to your conference bag. So I'll switch back to myself so you can see me. And then Sue, I think you could go ahead and share the presentation again. So a reminder, the key things is you're going to get an email about 2 weeks before the conference with the link to download the app, the access code, and the username and password. Oh, we got some information going on here in the chat. It'll be accessible for at least 2 months here in the app. And Mary, yes, this recording is going to be sent out to everyone that registered. So you can go back and review at your leisure. we see any more questions, we'll answer those. The next, we have a couple more things to go through. Where do you fit? So if you're coming to the convention and you've not been to our conference before, we'd highly recommend that you know your state. And so if maybe you don't know who your state contacts are, I'm going to put in the chat this link here to all of the different affiliate programs. So this can be all the different states that have a program. You'd have their website. Thank you, Sue. Their website, Facebook, contact info, so you can explore your own state ahead of time. So here's Minnesota's website. It also clicks over to our Facebook page. And just a reminder, we're all here. We're all going to be here to learn about agriculture and education. So look to meet other people, expand your knowledge of those in your state or the people that run the state program that you're from. I think the more you put in on that front, the better this conference will be for you. All right, so up next, I'm going to turn it over to Becky.
Okay, so I am covering what to pack. Number one, this is the number one question I get asked every year. So Tuesday will be traveling workshop. So you are going to show up in whatever you need to wear. So as Denise said, look at the weather. So make sure that if it's going to be really hot, you might want to wear shorts. You definitely need to wear closed-toed shoes, no matter what your tour is. If you are doing the walking tour, definitely probably having sneakers would be a good idea. On Tuesday, it is show your state pride in your dress. So if you have a shirt that has your state on it in Florida, we are getting shirts that match so that if they're looking for somebody that might be a friendly face, they can just look for the t-shirt. So if you have other people in your state that are coming, you might want to coordinate, but if not, just wear something that might show your state. So like Florida, we could wear a Hawaiian shirt. Wednesday and Thursday, this is just school day casual. This is not anything fancy. If you are going to be one of the award winners going across stage, we ask that you might dress up a little bit more. Please, no shorts. You will be on a big screen and you will get photos taken of you. So just have that in mind when you're doing that. It is always cold inside any conference facility you go to. So if you get cold easily, I would definitely bring a jacket or a cardigan. Bingo is share your Western wear. You do not have to dress up for bingo, but it definitely adds a little bit of fun to it. So last year we were tacky tourists, which was really fun in Florida. So Western wear. If you want to sit with people from your state, I know there were some states that got together and decorated their table last year. That was great, but you can come to that last dinner in your Western wear, but there also will be time to change. So if you do not want to come to dinner on Wednesday night in your Western wear, feel free to go back and change. So one of the things I have learned over the years is do not pack a full suitcase when you are coming, because you are going to get so much stuff that you need room in your suitcase. So make sure if your suitcase is full, you probably want to bring another bag so that you can bring all the goodies back with you, but just make sure you have extra space there. I don't think this is me. Is it me?
Nope, it's me. I would like to tell everyone a little bit about our conference specifics, the hotel that we will be at, which I have never been to, but Denise assures us it's really nice and brand new. So you will find yourself at the Hyatt Regency in Salt Lake City for a few days for this conference. There is transportation from the airport. You can do light rail to downtown Salt Lake City, or rideshare like Uber or Lyft are available. So whatever works best for you, there's options to get from the airport to this hotel. So in the registration amount, or the registration fee that you paid when you registered, many of the meals are included. So you can see those listed on Tuesday. Breakfast and lunch are included. The evening meal, which sometimes I call supper as a Midwesterner, but maybe you know it as dinner, but the evening meal is not included in that registration fee. So you are able to explore downtown Salt Lake City and find a place where you want to eat. Some states, organize a group meal. Some just are kind of on your own. So seek out your fellow state attendees and see where you guys want to maybe explore on Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, all of the meals are covered. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner are included in your conference registration, and those will be at that Hyatt Regency. And then the last meal that we'll have together is Thursday breakfast. So that's kind of our final gathering. Then there's some mini workshops that conclude a little before lunch, like 11:30, I think. And then lunch is on your own, and then everyone is having safe travels back to your origins, your place of origin. So Denise just put in the chat that light rail is easy and very inexpensive. So we'll provide some more details, I think, on the conference website or in some communication with you guys. But hopefully you'll have safe travels, easy, and you'll get to this Hyatt Regency ready to dive into all of the agricultural literacy that we get to explore. Also note that if you do have allergies or food preferences, hopefully you included those on your registration. So you'll receive a ticket when you register in person at the Hyatt Regency in Salt Lake City. You'll have a ticket that you'll provide to the meal servers to get that special meal for yourself. If you did not indicate that in registration, please mention that when you are checking in, or email once you get that email in about 2 weeks before the conference that has all of the information that Carrie said for the app. Respond to that if you have some specified food preferences that you did not note in registration. So those are the conference specifics. I'm going to go to the next slide and we'll share what's new this year.
So new this year, we're pretty excited about this. There's going to be a swag silo, and it has the same hours as registration. The location is the next bullet point that Denise definitely said in her intro, and I missed how to say it. I'm not even going to try. Nope. Okay, so you're going to get to choose your own conference swag this year, and that's where you'll pick up your conference swag. If you pre-purchased a t-shirt, you'll pick that up there as well. And if you pre-purchased bingo tickets, those will be available for pickup only on Wednesday at that spot. So that's the new this year piece. Now, Kevin, you're going to go through each day. What are the things going on?
Yeah, so a couple of things. If you are coming in early and you pre-registered, there is a pre-conference tour to the Olympic Village, something really cool, but it does require pre-registration. That doesn't mean you can show up Monday trying to get on the bus. Pre-registration, you need to get on and do that today or tomorrow, okay? So pre-registration to the Olympic Village conference, that is required. Pre-registration is required for that. Registration will be open if you take a flight in on Monday at some point in time between 11 and 6. It'll be in the broadcast lounge on level 4. Those of you staying at the conference hotel, it is a beautiful hotel. There'll be plenty of signage to tell you where to go. You check in on the first floor, you'll go up to your rooms, that kind of stuff. And then there are escalators that will take you up to the other floors. So really easy to get to. We'll basically be between level 3 and level 4. However, one of the things that you need to know is if you've made friends with your National Ag in the Classroom program leader, your state contact will be busy all day. We start at 8 a.m. with breakfast. We have meetings all day. We go till late that night. So we'll be out of pocket. So take care of contacting us for any of those things before you get there. Most of you are going to want to, if you haven't arranged your flight yet, hopefully you have, you're going to want to get there on Monday, because on Tuesday, our next slide, registration opens at 6:30, and we're going to have name tags. We need your name tag. Everybody needs your name tag. Registration opens Monday. It's open on Monday until 6 o'clock. It'll open up again at 6:30 on Tuesday if you have hopefully no flight delays or anything like that. But we kick off with breakfast at 7 a.m. Here's the deal. You're going to eat breakfast at 7. By 7:30, we're going to our opening session. And at 8:15, you're on a traveling workshop. We do not have time for you to run back and forth. Hotels are going to be cold, and the elevators are going to be slow, because all of you are going to be wanting to use the elevators at the exact same time. So plan ahead. Plan ahead, okay? So Tuesday, we go breakfast to the opening session, right to traveling workshops. Here's the deal. Buses will not wait on you. Early is on time is late, and late is left. If you're not there, we aren't hunting you down. We're going to say tour 1 is going now. We're going to say exactly where it's going and what's going on. We're going to tell you to be there, but we aren't going to say, hey, Cindy from Illinois, you need to go get on this bus. You're on your own with that. So make sure you're ready Tuesday morning. It is State Spirit Day, so something that shows off where you're from, that's a great way to start meeting people. And now you got something to talk about. Their shirt, your shirt, something like that. You'll get back in time for the workshops that start at 1:55, and we go from basically 2 o'clock until a little after 5. Some exciting workshops. There are some great, exciting workshops that are going on with that. And we will have some special book signings that day as well. We'll have some book signings. Peggy Thomas, author Peggy Thomas from she's from upstate New York. She's doing a workshop on Deeper Than Dirt. She also has written the new book, The Soil in Jackie's Garden. June Jo Lee, another author, she will be presenting Connecting Science and the Tiny Wild. She'll be talking about her book, she co-authored with Jacqueline Briggs Martin, and that one is Salvador Katz and the Tiny Wild. And then next we'll have Jacqueline Briggs Martin. She'll be in the session telling stories about food and farming, and she's got a new book out called Farmer Eva. So a chance for you to purchase the books and meet the author and get the book signed. Dinner Tuesday is on your own. You might want to look ahead and to provide some options prior to arriving. There are plenty of things to do within walking distance of our hotel. So lots of places, but you might want to plan ahead. So Tuesday is your evening out. Wednesday, we start with yoga at 6 a.m. And somebody had a question about yoga. I will not be at yoga. So I'm going to let somebody who is going to be at yoga jump in here and tell us a little bit about yoga. I know that it exists and there is bring your own mat. But if anybody has other topics about yoga, there we go. Denise, what do you know about yoga?
I know that we will have yoga. Mary from Florida is going to have yoga on Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. It's on the agenda. We do have a few mats. We were able to get a few mats from the hotel, so it's first come, first serve. I will not be there. I'm not a morning person, but Mary from Florida, a teacher who is attending, is very excited. It's free, and so come and we'll have all the information on the app too, the exact location, but please join us if you're if that's something that you'd like to do.
Awesome, thank you. Then go ahead, Carrie.
Before you keep going, in case someone's watching the recording, the Monday pre-conference tour is sold out. So
sold out. All right, so Monday pre-conference is sold out. Thank you. Sorry, it is sold out, so we're done. Thank you. Let's see. Denise also put in the chat, light rail is easy and inexpensive. You're going to get that. That's cool. So we've got that. So I'm sorry, I didn't know that it was sold out, but Monday is sold out. So, but there are plenty of things. If you're there Monday, there are plenty of things to do walking around downtown Salt Lake. So keep that in mind. So Wednesday, we start with yoga. It's going to be great. Mary from Florida is going to lead you. We'll start with breakfast and awards at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. Basically pack your stuff in a bag, your conference swag bag, what you're going to get, that kind of stuff. But we'll start with breakfast and awards before we go into workshops. We'll go into workshops. We'll have workshops from 9 until noon. And we'll also have a couple of breaks where we'll have a couple of authors signing. We'll have a couple of authors signing as well. So look for those. Janice Harrington, she's presenting a session, Accurate Ag, Powerful Stories, Diverse Voices. She's written a couple new books, including Rooting for Plants and Buzzing with Questions. Excited about those. Lindsay Metcalf, she's doing a session on Wednesday afternoon, and she is doing a session on growing your minds, and she's got a new book called Outdoor Farm, Indoor Farm. I think you'll enjoy both of those. Lunch. Wednesday lunch, we have our recognition of our National Teacher Award winners. So you don't want to miss that with lunch. So that will be our program at lunch. Then we go on ahead to our workshops and exhibits from 2 until 5. We finish with a reception at 5:45. So there'll be a break in there from the end of workshops before we start with our reception, before we head into dinner and our banquet with a speaker and also bingo. The theme for Western Evening is the theme for the bingo, and you could purchase your bingo tickets for $20. That goes to support the National Ag in the Classroom organization. You can purchase those anytime throughout before bingo. You can pick up your pre-purchase tickets when you get your swag early on. So everything will be there for you. Really cool prizes. Our state contacts, our state program leaders, they all bring really cool prizes. There's 75 to 80 prizes that you'll be able to get on. Unique things. There's some gift cards. There's some books that you can use. There's all sorts of really cool things related to other states. So that's Wednesday. That's our full day on Wednesday. All right. So yeah, we saw the message. Let's see. Thursday. We go to yoga again on Thursday, and we finish with breakfast and awards. There'll be another awards ceremony, and then we go to our mini workshops. From 9 until 11:50, we have mini workshops that are repeated 3 times. So we have various sessions that are repeated 3 times, and they're 25, 30-minute sessions. So instead of the full workshop, they're repeated a couple times, and you'll get a chance to go to those. So one thing you might think about is, as you're looking at the mini workshops, look at the room locations, and instead of going from mini workshop 1 on one end of the hallway to mini workshop 2 at the other end of the hallway, then back again, you might want to plan those out a little bit. A number of you will be checking out on Thursday, and we will have luggage storage all morning on Thursday. Now, this is not till the very end, but this is if you are going to stay till the end and then go ahead to the airport right from the conference. So from 7:15 until 12:30, there will be luggage storage for you. The hotel does have some luggage storage as well that you could use. But that is our Thursday thing, and there have been a couple things come up in the chat. Carrie, I couldn't keep up with them and keep up with the talk here. Did we get everything with? Okay, perfect.
We're good to go.
Awesome. So next up, Becky's going to talk about enjoying your experience, and Becky is really looking forward to enjoying her experience because she was last year's host. So she's all about it. So Becky, tell us how you think they should enjoy their experience.
Okay, so as Kevin just went over, there is a lot. There's a lot going on, but it is all worth it. You are going to be tired at the end, but what I highly encourage you to do is go to every session and every event that you can. There are going to be multiple workshops that you want to go to at the same time slot, so you're going to miss one. So I know if you're there with a friend, you're probably going to want to stay with your friend, but I definitely encourage you to divide and conquer. Jennifer and I from Florida, we always try to go over the schedule before we get there to make sure we know which workshops we want to go to, and we try not to go to the same one so that we can gain that information, come back together and share that information with each other. So if you have other people coming from your state or traveling with you, definitely divide up. The workshops are amazing, and you're going to get so much information. So the more, the better. Meet someone new. I have been going to these conferences since 2012 when I was still teaching. I love hearing what education is in other states and what ag education is in other states. Some teachers have just done amazing things in other states. And you guys know, as teachers, sometimes you get these great ideas of how to make the system work. There's a lot of rules and regulations around what you can do in schools. So definitely meet someone new. If you get a chance, you're going to be sitting together at tables for meal functions. You're going to be walking in halls. You're going to possibly be standing in line. So say hi. Everybody has a name tag. Try something new. If there is a workshop session or something at one of the tables, or even just walking around town. I have personally never been to Utah. I am very excited. I have a list that is really, really long of things that I want to try and do. And as Kevin said, I didn't get to go to really any workshop sessions last year. I'm excited to do it all. I know I'm going to be exhausted at the end, but I'm just really excited. one of the things that is always going to come up in an event is there's going to be delays. There might be a bus that doesn't show up. The line might be long at registration. Things are just going to happen. And I suggest maybe making that as a time to meet somebody new, spark a conversation, and just kind of be patient, because we're always going to have that kind of thing. So do as much as you can, plan as much as you can, and definitely read over the agenda before coming and kind of have a plan. So what Carrie said about the app, but also you can look on the website and see the agenda as well. So if you want to start on that now, having a plan, I think that's probably all I wanted to say on that one.
Thanks, Becky. So we just wanted to also mention that National Agriculture in the Classroom is on social media. So if you are a social media user, you can follow us on Facebook and also Instagram. We also have a YouTube channel, or whatever, you can follow us on YouTube. Facebook is where you'll find most of the, Facebook and Instagram is where you'll find most of the announcements about this conference. We've been highlighting different presenters and speakers for the last couple of weeks, and that will continue for the next couple of weeks. Also, if you are posting when you're at the conference in Utah, you can use the hashtag NAITC, or actually NAITC 2024, and we can group all of those together. Also, don't forget about your state social media. Your state Ag in the Classroom program probably also has some social media for you to follow and be part of, and meet some of the attendees through that platform. So social media is a good place to stay current on what's going on, and also meet and interact with people in a little bit different way. So now we will open up for questions. If anybody wants to be brave and unmute and ask a question verbally, we're here to answer them. And also the chat is usable. Carrie, did you have something? Sorry.
Well, they'd have to raise their hand and we'd have to unmute them if they wanted to ask their question.
There you go. So raise your hand. We'll be happy to unmute, or feel free to use the chat if that's easier.
I see we have one question about purchasing meals for a guest. Will they need a name tag or something to get in? Andy or Tessa, can you respond to that? Or Denise, I don't think that's your, yeah, I didn't think so. While we wait for that response to come in, thank you for spending this time with us. We're really excited for the conference, and we hope we will get to meet all of you.
Yeah, if they purchase a guest ticket for a meal, we'll give them a name tag at the same time for that, just so we know who is there.
Okay, so Christina should expect a name tag at registration with the additional meal ticket for her guest.
Yes.
I think we can wait another minute or so. Oh, okay. Chelsea asks, will I get emails if my personal email is secondary? Oh, I switched schools and don't have access to the school email anymore. I have a feeling we're going to have to email Tessa to make that change. We'll get to an answer here in just, oh, there you go, Chelsea. If you would email programs@naitco.org, your new email. Audrey, I was just about to unmute you, but it looks like someone reaching in our state reaching out to us. It's on a state by state basis. We are in Minnesota reaching out, but I don't know that everyone does that. What do you think,
Audrey, where are you from?
Here, Audrey, where are you? Gotta find her.
Utah.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
The answer is yes. Sorry, I thought I'd seen your name before. That's why I asked. So yes, we'll be reaching out. We're just going to reach out and let you know that we're going to be there. And so anyway, you'll be hearing from us from Utah. Great question.
There was a question in the question and answer. If we haven't signed up for a guest, will we be able to do that on site? Andy is the program. He's our executive director for the National Ag in the Classroom organization. He replied to that. Any way you could, I've hosted these conferences before too. We got to turn in meals. We got to turn in meal numbers before. Anything you can do to give us a heads up and let us know that you're going to be doing something, that's always better. Those of you that are teachers, you know, anybody can come to the last minute on the field trip, but it's a heck of a lot easier if we know that everybody's coming beforehand. So think about it. Give us that heads up as soon as you can. As soon as you know they're coming, that is possible. So from an outsider perspective, my wife is coming. She's been to 6 or 7 of them. She just comes to enjoy the hotel. She doesn't want to go to the workshops. I don't sign her up for the workshops, and she actually likes it when she gets to go out and have dinner on her own for places too. So plenty of things for you to do if you're bringing a friend or a spouse that isn't in education, but it's a major city. Salt Lake is just beautiful. I was there in January. Can't wait to see it in June. So, but you know, this is a pretty specialized conference, and if they're going to be there, we need them to be registered to come into sessions and those kind of things. So. Got a question in there about deadline for meals. When that happens, when is the deadline for guest tickets? I would say it's probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ahead. That's my thought. Andy, I'll let you finish up with that.
No, so we'll actually sell them on site at the information desk, but we would prefer to know ahead of time if that's what you need to do. If you've already registered, you can go in and modify your registration and add a guest ticket if you need to. But if you just need to do it on site, we'll sell them on site as well. So, but preferably we would like you to do that at registration so we have as much heads up as possible.
Perfect. Thank you, Andy.
Any last questions? I think we're practicing wait time here. Former educators, nice job. You still got it. Okay.
We didn't practice who was going to close this up, Carrie. So I
We
guess
did not,
it's you and
so-
me. Yeah. So we're both online. But on behalf of all of us, thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you in Utah. Safe travels. Bring a good attitude. There's going to be something. You know, no snow. Last time I was in Salt Lake, Denise was worried about snow. No snow in June. So in Illinois, we're dealing with cicadas right now. So there's always something. But we look forward to meeting all of you in person, sharing our cooperative attitudes with you as you share those as well, and hope that you bring home lots and lots of great activities and great resources. So with that, reach out to your state contact if you haven't already, and we will see you in just a few short weeks. So thank you very much, everyone.